Hi, my name's Mandy and this is my story. Okay, well, my story begins when I was a little baby and I was about 9 months old, and my dad had had some self-doubt issues his whole life, and it got to a point where he felt like he just didn't have anything left to contribute to the world, to me, to my mom, and he decided to end his life in our home when I was sleeping down the hallway and my mom was in the other room. So he took his life. A couple hours after he decided to take his life, he did pass away. I've been told that he changed his mind at the last minute and was unable to do so because they didn't have the technology to save him at that point. So he did end up passing away. That was something I had been told. As I grew up and turned 3, my mom started dating someone else, and she had dated him previously to meeting my dad, and she ended up marrying him. My sister was born shortly after, and when we were 1 and 4.5, and I was the older sister, of course, we were in a car accident on a very foggy day. My mom didn't see the stop sign at the end of our addition, and she ran it, and a Mack truck semi hit her driver's side. When they pulled us all out of the wreckage, they did revive my mom. I was in a coma. I had broken my collarbone. My sister was in a car seat, so she was okay, but my mom was not okay, and she woke up from her coma months later with a brain injury and a spinal cord injury. And my dad tried to take care of her for a while in our apartment. We were poor at the time. My dad did the best he could. I respected him for that, but we didn't have a lot. We always had enough, but we didn't have a lot growing up. And he couldn't take care of her anymore. So she's been in a nursing home since I was 7. They had marital issues and they ended up divorcing when I was 9. So I did go through a divorce, and then with my sister, and my sister really never got to know my mom because she was only 1 when that happened. So she's only ever known her as a handicapped person. I remember my mom previously to that and the closeness that we shared, so that kind of helped get through that time, just knowing that I had been close to her at one time. She was a completely different person. So the divorce, even though it was really, really hard, it did make sense for my dad at the time. And he remarried then when I was 12. So I ended up having a stepmom. My dad decided that he, through this process, would adopt me, and so I took his last name, and I ended up not growing up with either one of my biological parents. So when I tell you that I didn't understand where I fit, I didn't have the same personality as the rest of the family that I grew up with, and so I really felt misunderstood a lot, and I felt like I didn't really have a place in my family, so I struggled with those same self-doubt issues. Someone that helped me a lot when I was going through this time was my grandma. We ended up living with her after my mom's accident for a few years, and she took that mother role for me a lot at times, well, for a while. We ended up even staying with her when my dad would work before he ended up remarrying and had help with 2 little girls as a single young man. So my grandma really was a role model for me. I also had a couple trusted teachers. I remember having a math teacher in 8th grade that I could talk to if I ever needed to talk. I believe that going through what I went through taught me that I needed to work hard. I was the first one in my family with the parents that raised me to go to college and earn a bachelor's degree, and I learned that I needed to work hard in school as well as outside of school to earn money to be able to have things. I ended up paying for my car myself. My parents helped me a little bit with college, but most of that I paid for myself. I paid for my own wedding. I was able to help contribute to our home when I did get married, and am still able to help contribute because I decided to stay in school, work really hard, go to college, work hard to get decent grades so that I could come out of college with a decent job and pay off my school quickly. I was able to pay it off within 2 years, my college education. So yes, I did go to a community school, but I was able to do that because of that work ethic, and I believe that had I not gone through what I went through, maybe I wouldn't have understood the importance of working so hard. Also, it helped me to develop a strong sense of empathy for other people. When someone comes to me, and people seem to find me that have issues going on in their life, and that's fine, that's how I use my story. People start to question themselves if they're worthy. Maybe a relationship doesn't work out and they don't think that it's worth living anymore. And I've had that happen before, where someone told me that she just didn't feel like she had a place here anymore and she wanted to die. And I was able to walk with her through that journey, and I'm still walking through that with some friends who are questioning themselves and their value. It also helps me to talk to younger people, and I've been able to work as a youth leader in the past and kind of plug into these girls and these kids who have gone through really hard times and let them know that they can change the course of their future. They don't have to end up making the same choices that their family would have made at their age. They can make better choices, and that's long-term going to affect the rest of their life. Also, I've tried to instill in my friends who have gone through hard times that suicide's never an answer. It's never a way out. There are resources out there that are available, and it's going to have a whole lot more damage than it will have good for anyone involved in that situation. So you have value no matter what you've gone through or how you've come through your life. You have value and you matter and you have something to contribute and to give back. So my goal through having this life, I guess, is to just make sure everybody that I meet knows that. And if I can make that difference in their life and make them question that decision, then I've made a difference. And that's my purpose.